My brothers and sisters, my dearest children, Walillahi alhamd, we are now in the second day of Tashriq. We are still living in the spirit of Eid. The Hajjis have finished from Arafah and settled in Mina, observed the biggest day of the whole year, Yawm al-Nahr, and now they are staying in Mina to remember Allah Azza wa Jal. وَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ فِي أَيَّامٍ مَعْدُودَاتٍ فَمَنْ تَعَجَّلَ فِي يَوْمَيْنِ فَلَا إِثْمَ عَلَيْهِ وَمَنْ تَأَخَّرَ فَلَا إِثْمَ عَلَيْهِ لِمَنِ اتَّقَى. And there are those who will be leaving today from the camp of Mina, concluding their settlement in the camp, and then going to Mecca to do Hajj Tawaf al-Ifada and Tawaf al-Wada', and proceed from there to conclude the ritual of Hajj. And there are those who will be staying late. تأخر, they will be staying for 3 days of the Ayyam al-Tashriq, but Allah Azza wa Jal is saying to them, whether you're going to be staying for 2 days or you're going to be staying for 3 days after the day of Al-Nahr, Yawm al-Nahr, the matter is Allah Azza wa Jal wants to see from you the taqwa. وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّكُمْ إِلَيْهِ تُحْشَرُونَ. And be conscious of your Lord as you will be resurrected once again to Him. And this is what the Muslim Ummah needs to be reminded about, that this ritual of Hajj, this pillar of Islam, is not only a cosmetic ritual with a checklist. I will be standing on the mountain of Arafah, doing Tawaf al-Ifada, staying in Mina, checklist, and then do the Tawaf al-Wada', and then proceed after that from there to Medina, and then go home and Khatam Qubul. This is not the essence of Hajj. Hajj is a ritual that's supposed to serve to the Muslim Ummah as a means to unite our hearts, to unite our efforts, to unite us together to stand in against the aggression and against the challenges that the Ummah is going through right now. Hajj now has become only a ritual to fulfill spiritual fulfillment, and that's about it, Khatam Qubul. That's not what Hajj is all about. Hajj is about showing the unity of the Muslim Ummah by giving us the chance to congregate from different parts of the world to show our unity, to destroy all the classes of classification that people have created in their life, whether it is racial classes or economic classes or social classes. Allah Azza wa Jal wants to send a message to the humanity that this is what Islam is all about. It's about being uniting, about staying together, and about standing together to defend haqq and justice and democracy. Because when you read the ayat of Surah Al-Hajj, you will find that Allah Azza wa Jal is saying to us, وَلَوْلَا دَفْعُ اللَّهِ النَّاسَ بَعْضَهُمْ بِبَعْضٍ لهدمت صوامع وبيع ومساجد يذكر فيها اسم الله كثيرا ولا ينصرن الله من ينصره إن الله لقوي عزيز. This is the concept that the Muslim Ummah unfortunately have taken away from its agenda and turned the rituals in general, whether it is Ramadan or Hajj, to only cosmetic actions we do and then we move on in our life. Once again, the Ummah wants to realize that as long as we stay in our actions of ibadat doing mechanical actions, then we will be victims. We will be continued to slapped left and right and to be slaughtered in front of the whole world. This is something that needs to be reminded about as we are living in the spirit of Hajj and living in the spirit of Eid. Walillahi alhamd, we were able to enjoy Eid here with our families. We came to the masajid, to the Islamic centers. We went even outside in the open area in the parks, exercising the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We gave the chance for our children to enjoy the spirit of Eid by seeing Muslims congregating. We gave them the chance to play and entertain. That was not the same for majority of the Muslim Ummah, unfortunately. There were Muslims in Gaza throughout the day of Eid got together to mourn the murders who have risen to Allah Azza wa Jal. There were Muslims in Gaza who unfortunately, rather than getting together and enjoy the spirit of Eid, had to go and bury their shuhada as a result of the raid of the Israeli apartheid regime on them on the first day of Eid, killing 10 civilians, including children and women. This is the ugly reality. And there were Muslims in Lebanon who are unfortunately living in the same situation. This is all happening while Muslim living in neglection, ghafla, exercising one of the main rituals of Islam, taking that ritual out of its essence. That's what we need to be reminded about, not only to be reminded about the joy and happiness of congregating together as a community and showing our power and flexing our muscles in front of the politicians when we invite them and show them how much the numbers of the Muslim community is increasing, but rather we need to be aware of what is expected from us as an ummah. Another important aspect that Hajj experience or memory delivers to us is living the legacy of Ibrahim alayhi salam and his family. We need to explore what's with Ibrahim alayhi salam. Why Allah Azza have honored him that much? Why Allah Azza have made a ritual that is one of the pillars of Islam is structured about the family of Ibrahim? If you go into the ritual of Hajj and explore the different arkan and sunnah and all the details, it's nothing but the mimicking and copying the family of Ibrahim alayhi salam. And that brings us to explore the dimensions, the tarbiyah dimensions that the family of Ibrahim have introduced to the Muslim ummah that the ummah have failed to exercise in its life. When you go to Surah Safat, you will find Allah the Mighty saying about Ibrahim alayhi salam, the mu'min who have laid the foundation for this giant family, giant usra, to be a role model for humanity. He said, فَأَرَادُوا بِهِ كَيْدًا قَالُوا ابْنُوا لَهُ بُنْيَانًا فَأَلْقُوهُ فِي الْجَحِيمِ فَأَرَادُوا بِهِ كَيْدًا فَجَعَلْنَاهُمُ الْأَسْفَلِينَ. After he destroyed the idols, exercising the real action of da'wah to the deen of Allah Azza wa Jal, after he demonstrated with actions to the people around him that these statues are illusions, as we should be firmly believing nowadays that the superpowers that exist nowadays, that the Muslim Ummah have established the Tawheed to them, not the Tawheed to Allah. Because that's the real concept of Tawheed, is to believe that the Mighty is the one who can protect you, is the one who can give you the power and protection. We have established a wrong concept of Tawheed, believing in the power of the F-35s, the power of the AI, the power of the sophisticated technology, and we have bowed to the leaders of these superpowers and give them the treasures of the Muslim Ummah. That's the reality. That's the reality we're living in. After Ibrahim destroyed that perception, the illusion that the statues, the asnam, that are gods, he showed them that they're powerless. As we are seeing right now that the superpower is powerless. After 3 years of war in Gaza, they were not able to crush the spirit of a child in Gaza who stands and firmly saying in front of the social media, I am a powerful person believing in the mighty Allah Azza wa Jal. My power is stemmed from the Quran I have in my heart. That's the real concept of Tawheed, my brothers and sisters. That's the real concept that the Ummah needs to be awakened and believe in. So that our resources, the trillions of dollars that the Muslim Ummah have, would not be wasted on our enemies who come back again and attack us. قالوا ابنوا له بنيانا فألقوه في الجحيم. Jahim, hell. Remember that word? We heard it multiple times. It's going to be opened in the people of Gaza. فأرادوا به كيدا فجعلناهم الأسفلين. The might is going to do the same with this superpower who have poured the weapons on the apartheid regime to kill civilians in Gaza. فأرادوا به كيدا فجعلناهم الأسفلين. They will be asfalin. That's a fact. That's a given. We will not be doubting that. Because the mighty said so in the Quran, and that's what the family of Ibrahim is demonstrating to us. After Ibrahim demonstrated the real concept of Tawheed to the mighty Allah Azza wa Jal, then إني ذاهب إلى ربي سيهدين ربي هب لي من الصالحين فبشرناه بغلام حليم. Ya Allah, what does this mean to us? After he demonstrated the real understanding of Tawheed to the mighty Allah Azza wa Jal, after he have helped the Ummah to come yet to destroy any perceptions about the power and ability of any tyrant, of any superpower, he said, I'm going to my Lord. Now I'm ready to establish a family. I want children who can carry the legacy that I have established by my tawheed to the mighty Allah Azza wa Jal. And then the mighty said to him, فَبَشَّرْنَاهُ بِغُلَامٍ حَلِيمٍ. We gave him a glad tidings of a ghulam, halim, full of wisdom and hilm and patience. فلما بلغ معه السعي قال يا بني إني أرى في المنام أني أذبحك فانظر ماذا ترى قال يا أبتي افعل ما تؤمر ستجدني إن شاء الله من الصابرين. Ya Allah, what is this? What's the beauty of this legacy that this family have established to the families yet to come be inspired with? And that's what we need to be inspired with, my brothers and sisters. I'm addressing right now the parents. Parents, wake up. Wake up. You're not working in producing a Rabbani generation to the Ummah. The Ummah is not in need for bodies that only look good and beautiful and they are now wasted in their life by going onto drugs or going into violence and joining gangs members and becoming victims of violence. That's not what the whole purpose of having children. The whole purpose of having children is not to please our eyes with good-looking children. And then after that, they have no understanding to who they are as Muslims. This is the reality. This is what we deal with as an imams. This is the fact that we're dealing with, that our children are bankrupt. They have no understanding, no clue what's their role in their life. They're following the trend. The trend dictates on them to dress in a certain way, to act in a certain way, and to enjoy their life as the rest of the people around them are enjoying their lives. They have no purpose for their living. They don't know that they belong to an ummah that needs them. They belong to an ummah that is looking forward for them to take the leadership role in whatever aspect in their life they will be taking as a profession. This is what is missing from the incubating environment, the usra, the family that's supposed to be serving that purpose. When you look into the family of Ibrahim alayhi salam, you will see that Ibrahim have fed his children these meanings, so that his child will be saying to him, Ya abati, if'al ma tu'mar. Do what Allah has commanded you. Satajiduni insha'Allahu min as-sabirin. I will be patient. فَلَمَّا أَسْلَمَا وَتَلَّهُ لِلْجَبِينِ. Then they both surrendered to the will of the mighty Allah Azza wa Jal. And he put him in a facing down so that he would not see the knife coming on his neck. فلما أسلما وتله للجبين وناديناه أن يا إبراهيم قد صدقت الرؤيا. Ya Allah, you have demonstrated this ru'ya, which is haqq. And by the way, the ru'ya of prophets is different than the ru'ya of individuals. If you by any chance see a dream of doing any act of indecency, do not take this as a sign from the mighty Allah Azza wa Jal. This is not a ru'ya, this is rather a dream from the shaitan. Just between two brackets. إِنَّ هَذَا لَهُوَ الْبَلَاءُ الْمُبِينُ. This is indeed the greatest test that one can be tested with, to sacrifice his own son. Because the act of sacrificing is done from early time in history with the two children of Adam alayhim as-salam. إِذْ قَرَّبَا قُرْبَانًا فَلَمْ يَتَقَبَّلَ مِنْ أَحَدٍ وَلَمْ يَتَقَبَّلَ مِنْ الْآخَرِ إِنَّمَا يَتَقَبَّلُ اللَّهُ مِنَ الْمُتَّقِينَ. The act of sacrificing for Ibrahim was not about from the sheaves or the crops that he have planted. No, offering his own son, the one he has waited for many years, as so many of the mothers and the parents of Gaza have done for their own children. You see them and listen to what they say on media. Alhamdulillah, all my 4 children are gone shuhada. And they're proud. Alhamdulillah, not only my children, but my grandchildren are also gone as shuhada. How these people think, how they operate, what's their frame of reference, what they have in their heart. What they have in their heart and mind is the Quran, my brothers and sisters. Look into this great woman. Look into this giant who have raised Ismail in a way that can make him an example to the real belief in the mighty Allah Azza wa Jal. We know for a fact that Ibrahim alayhi salam was commanded to leave his children and his family in a واد غير ذي زرع. رب إني أسكنت من ذريتي بواد غير ذي زرع عند بيتك المحرم. A command from the mighty. Hajar alayhi salam grew up with Ismail alayhi salam by themselves. That's a fact. In the nowadays terms, single mom, right? Now, what we are unable to understand, but we are able to comprehend and understand, is why this single mom was able to raise a giant. Well, unfortunately, quite the opposite happened in our community when we see children growing in one single parenting, family, one parent-headed family. We see children growing up with many psychological problems. The answer to this simply because this is a family of Iman. They were glued by the Tawheed, the love to Allah Azza wa Jal, the Mighty. That's demonstrated when Hajar alayhi salam was chasing Ibrahim. Yeah, Ibrahim, this is no joke. You're leaving me and your newborn with only a few dates and some water in this valley that has no signs of living? Are you out of your mind? He did not even respond to her, kept walking. Then at that moment she realized, this giant woman realized, Allahu amaraka bidhalik? He nodded as yes. لا يضيعنا الله. خلاص, go ahead then. We don't care about you, Ibrahim. You're only Amin. You're a tool to fulfill the qadr of Allah Azza wa Jal. She fit that concept of Tawheed in the heart and the mind of her own child. Ismail grew up seeing the role modeling from both parents to the real concept of Tawheed. She probably have told him what happened to her when he was a baby, unconscious to realize what happened around him. Not only that, she fed into his heart the real concept of tawakkul on the mighty Allah Azza wa Jal, yet by taking the asbab. When her husband walked away, she left alone with a baby, and the baby started crying, and the crying of the baby tortured her as a mom. She could not stand seeing that, doing nothing, but rather she commuted between As-Safa wal Marwa, so that the millions and the billions afterwards will be coming, copying her and following her footsteps, demonstrating that roll your sleeves, do whatever you're able to do, yet count on the mighty Allah Azza wa Jal. Ismail grew up seeing this, hearing these meanings, but also seeing in reality that, the water that gushed under his feet are there. He drinks from it, he sees it. So it's not something illusion, it's not a story that happened thousands of years ago. It's a reality happening in front of him right now. So he grew up drinking water and allowing the Zamzam to flourish in his heart and mind, the nur of Iman to the mighty Allah Azza wa Jal. Think of it this way. Hajar did not say to her son in a quiet moment of reflection, son, I want to tell you something. Your dad was XYZ. He left us alone in this place and he went somewhere else. She did not say that. What's called nowadays parental alienation, which is the most destructive act of torturing to your children if you are exercising that unconsciously to them. This is what will make a human grow up dysfunctional. It will hit them either in their childhood or even in their adulthood. And I'm talking from experience, professional experience. The most destructive thing a parent can do to their own child is parental alienation. Very destructive. Rather, she fed into the mind and the heart of her own son, Ismail alayhi salam, the love to his father who have sacrificed for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, leaving them here to go in a mission somewhere else to serve the mighty Allah Azza wa Jal. So that when he come back to him later on, when he becomes a teen, an adolescent, and said to him, Ya Bunayya, I am seeing in my dream as a haqq, true message from the mighty, I am slaughtering you. He responded immediately, yes, ya abati, abati. He did not say dad, or did not call him by his name. What up, Ibrahim? He said, Ya abati, if'al ma tu'mar. Precisely. I'm a strong believer. I have lived when I was baby, I was living the miracle of counting on the mighty Allah Azza wa Jal. I know exactly as Allah Azza wa Jal have made an ease for me when I was baby. He will make an ease for me right now. And that's exactly what happened, and he become an icon later on. وَجَعَلْنَا وَتَرَكْنَا عَلَيْهِ فِي الْآخِرِينَ. He become an icon. We are every year exercising this ritual of offering sacrifice to Allah Azza wa Jal, copying Ibrahim and remembering the sacrifice of Ismail alayhi salam as well. These are the meanings that we need to be mindful about and reminded. When we're talking about Hajj and talking about Eid, brothers and sisters, the Ummah is in pathetic condition right now. We need to go back to these meanings once again, so that we will be able to stand up and defend ourselves and live with integrity, which is something I've forgotten from the agenda of the Muslim Ummah, unfortunately. We need to start with the family and raise our children on those beautiful meanings and values. Both parents are focused on creating a functioning, a believing, a mu'min in the mighty Allah Azza wa Jal. That only could be possibly happening if they were to both understand why are the first place they're living together. What's the purpose for their union? What's the mission they're created to do in this family that they have created by the name of Allah Azza wa Jal? And how they're able to raise a Rabbani generation that will be an asset for them, an asset to the Muslim Ummah afterwards. This is what the story of Ibrahim delivers to us. And this is what Hajj reminds us about when we remember the spirit of Hajj. May Allah Azza wa Jal have rahmah on the Muslim Ummah, فإنه على كل شيء قدير. وأقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه ففوز المستغفرين. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور انفسنا وسيئات اعمالنا من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا ان الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا ايها الذين امنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى ال محمد كما صليت على ابراهيم وعلى ال ابراهيم وبارك اللهم على محمد وعلى ال محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد اللهم إن عبيدك أبناء عبيدك أبناء إماك نواصينا يا رب بيدك ماض يا رب فينا حكمك عدل فينا قضاؤك نسألك اللهم بكل اسم هو لك سميت به نفسك أنزلته في كتابك أو علمته أحدا من خلقك أو استأثرت به في علم الغيب عندك بأن تجعل القرآن العظيم ربيع قلوبنا يا رب اللهم اجعله جلاء لهمومنا وأحزاننا اللهم نسألك بأنك أنت الله الذي لا إله غيرك في هذا اليوم المبارك وفي هذه الساعة الفضيلة نسألك بأن تفرج هم المسلمين في مشارق وغمهم في مشارق الأرض ومغاربها اللهم افتح لنا من أبواب رحمتك اللهم وكما أدخلت السرور على قلوبنا في هذه الأيام المباركة أدخله على أهلنا في غزة وفي لبنان وفي اليمن وفي مشارق الأرض ومغاربها يا رب العالمين اللهم نسألك من كرمك وجودك ومنك وفضلك علينا بأن تفتح لنا من أبواب رحمتك وتمن علينا بالصلاة في المسجد الأقصى آمنين مطمئنين فإنك على كل شيء قدير وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وأقم الصلاة